Good morning, Horace. Welcome Beech Grove Student News. I'm Juliet Kaufman.
And I'm Jaden Petty. Today we'll be taking a look at After School Rules, Powerpuff, the Fall Festival, and as always, sports.
But first, we want to address a safety concern from the high school this morning. Administration received a report before school started that a student had a weapon in his possession. We have learned that a pellet gun was retrieved from the bus, and witnesses report seeing a boy being escorted in handcuffs away from the high school by Beech Grove police. No weapon was in the high school, and there was no threat against students and staff. Administration credits students for communicating the information quickly this morning. Now here's Marcus with your weekend weather forecast.
Students and staff, I hope you are having a good Friday like I am, especially going into this 3-day weekend. We have been having a pretty gloomy and humid week. However, we can expect plenty of sun this weekend. Today we are expecting a high of 84 and a low of 64 with a 40% chance of rain. Starting off our 3-day weekend Saturday, we are looking at a high of 80 and a low of 65 with almost no chances of rain. This will continue into the weekend and next week as we are expecting very low chances of rain. Sunday we continue into the 80s with a high of 84 and a low of 66. We end off this year's Labor Day weekend with a high of 83 and a low of 63. That is all for this week's weather. Back to you at the desk.
There are many after-school clubs at Beech Grove High School, but only one that involves Spanish, with the Spanish club being ran by Miss Cook and Miss Brennan. Jacob went out and got more from Miss Cook and Jordan Dishman.
So I'm the sponsor of Spanish Club. We have meetings about once a month. To join, dues are $2. We're selling t-shirts also. If you have any questions, you can talk to me, or our president is Alexis Burgess.
I want to thank Ms. Cook for a great interview, as well as telling us more things about how many times they meet a month and what else they do. And now it's time for Jordan Dishman with his interview.
My opinion on the Spanish Club, I heard it was a great opportunity for kids to express themselves in the way of Spanish. And my sister was in it, so she had a great experience, and I encourage people to go out and take the club.
Many students may not know about after-school rules. Lainey got more.
This week, I talked to Mr. Daniel about the new after-school rules for students and athletes.
All right, so after school for athletes, the most important part is supervision. So obviously when you're in school during the school day or even before school, you're always having a teacher or someone around you, whether it's in the hallways or in the classrooms, whatnot. So it's the same thing for after school. First off, if you're not any extracurricular activity, or you're an athlete, or you're after school or tutoring, you should be leaving the building. Now for myself, one of my main focuses for athletes is that to give them the opportunity, since some of our coaches come from other schools, they can't get here right at 3 o'clock. So your opportunities would be to go to the cafeteria, to grab something to eat, and sit down and quietly do some schoolwork. This is positive in multiple aspects. First off, you'll be supervised because there's teachers in there. Secondly, it's a good time to sit down and do some schoolwork before you have to go to practice. A lot of our students, you're a student athlete first, so we want to make sure that your grades are good so you're eligible to play. But the most important caveat there is in the cafeteria, it's not just a hangout time, it's not to joke around with your teammates, it's not to be loud and disruptive for the other tutoring students and the teachers. You need to be in there on your computer or Chromebook or schoolwork. Now, if your coaches have something else for you to do, like to meet somewhere else, that's fine, but it needs to be, the coach needs to talk to me about it. And then lastly, if you don't want to stay after school and you have the opportunity, you can leave the building, that's fine. So either you're in school or in the cafeteria, or you're leaving the building and coming back for practice later.
If you have any further questions about these new rules, please contact Mr. Daniels or your coach. This has been Lainey Wilson for Beech Grove Student News. Thank you for watching, Hornets.
As most of you know, the Fall Festival is approaching fairly quickly. Jordan got more on the story.
As most of y'all know, Beech Grove hosts their annual Fall Festival on Main Street each year to bring the Beech Grove community together for a fun event. I interviewed Mr. Dean for his opinion on the festival.
Seems like a really neat social event for the community of Beech Grove to come together. There's a lot of live music, games, rides, vendors that are local based, and just a really neat way to see all the cool things about Beech Grove.
I also interviewed Gabriel Martin on his opinion on the festival as well.
Opinion on the Fall Festival from last year.
The fall festival was really fun. I went on several rides. I ate so much food. The elephant ears are great. It's just in turn a great place to hang out with your friends each year and have some good food.
Don't forget to support our Beach Grove community on Wednesday, September 11th through Friday, September 13th. I encourage everyone to go on rides, visit booths, and have fun, and don't forget to get your elephant ears. I'm Jordan Dishman signing off, and back to JD and Julia at the desk.
Now for the first time ever, here's Jacob with your daily dose of sports.
Hello, Hornets, and welcome to your daily dose of sports. It's game day for the Hornets. They will be facing the Cascade Cadets. The game will start at 7 o'clock. In girls volleyball news, they lost last night to the Cardinal Ritter Raiders. Their next game will be tomorrow in the Cowan Invitational at Cowan High School. It will start at 9 a.m. Girls soccer lost last night in a tough one, 4-0. Their next game is Tuesday at 5:30 at Lutheran. Boys soccer also has a game Tuesday against Morristown High School. It is at the pit. The game will start at 7:30. In college football news, Florida A&M traveled to UCF and got killed 62-0. The number one team in the country, the Clemson Tigers, beat the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets 52-14. Also, Texas A&M beat Texas State 41-7. And the big one last night was the Utah Utes traveled to face Birmingham Young University. Utah beat BYU 30-12. In NFL news, Dolphins locker room would reportedly revolt if the team deals Laramie Tunsil to the Texans. Adam Beasley's sources claim that if the Dolphins were to include offensive tackle Laramie Tunsil in a deal that would bring Houston Texans pass rusher Jalavian Clowney to Miami, the locker room would not stand for it. The backlash would be amazing, the source says. Guys would legit revolt. The Clowney to Miami rumor heated up over this week as Houston recently allowed Clowney to meet with Dolphins head coach Brian Foles. This would affect the Dolphins locker room, and the Texans, this would help both teams out, but have bad blood between the locker rooms and the players. Here at the high school, we have a great opportunity for any girls interested in playing football. Madison got more.
Here at the high school, the National Honor Society is putting together a powder puff game. To learn more about what that is, I talked to NHS head leader Rebecca Lamb and asked her.
So powder puff is basically just girls playing football. Well, it's like flag football, and we are going to have that on September 25th at 7 p.m. And there are 4 teams this year, and it's going to be all the classes. And we have t-shirts designed, and basically you do not, unlike past years, you do not have to pay to be on the team, but you do have to order a t-shirt to be on the team.
I then asked her if there are any more changes happening this year.
Some other changes we made are you have to sign up at Mr. Robinson's door, and he's going to have papers that you sign up with. And also, you have to get a parent permission slip signed just in case you get hurt. There will be 2 food trucks there, so make sure your parents bring their money if they're hungry. Admission is free since we want a lot of people from the community and friends and family to come watch. We want it to be a big event. We're looking for cheerleaders, announcers if you want to announce for the game. We're looking for players and other things like that. So if you have any questions, come see Mr. Robinson in room 209.
If you are interested in being a part of this incredible event, you can sign up in the cafeteria today. This has been Madison Stratton for Bgsn.
That's all for your daily dose of sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Jacob. That's it for today's dose of BGSN 10.
But before we go, it's time for the weekly Gotcha coupon drawings and teacher drawing.
All right. For the winner of a Renaissance Sports Pass, we have Harley Taylor. For the winner of another Renaissance Pass, we have Morgan Woodruff. And the winner of 2 movie tickets, Bree Mills.
And for the teachers, we have 2 winners here. We have Martin Barker, nominated by Kevin Banks, for doing the planning and preparing materials for and the beginning classes. That is for 1 movie ticket. For the second one, it is Cynthia Senef, nominated by Q Starks. The reason is, I sit next to Senef's class, and she always is outside her class during passing period and greeting her students and complimenting them. Her instruction is focused and goes bell to bell. Great work. And you have won another movie ticket.
Now, with all that being said, that's all for today's Daily Dose of Beech Grove Student News.
Teachers, don't forget to hit that bell icon and subscribe button to get notified every time we go live.
Also, don't forget to follow us on all social media at BG Student News. I'm Juliet Kaufman.
And I'm Jaden Petty. Have a fantastic Friday and a wonderful weekend, Hornets.